Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real. Welcome to the third training video in our Speak to Inspire workshop. Before we dive in, I want you to download the workbook below this video and take a quick look. It gives you 3 great techniques to crushing your public speaking fears. I've always believed the best way to crush any fear is to have a plan. So in this video, we're diving into the 6 areas of mastery that serve as a roadmap to becoming an inspirational speaker. This roadmap will point you in the right direction to becoming world-class in front of any audience. We're also going to dive deep into one of those areas, which is storytelling. Storytelling is one of my favorite topics because it helped me get over 275,000 views on my TED Talk and contributed to the 50 million views on the London Real YouTube channel. So if you want to gain more praise and recognition for your work, if you're looking to earn better opportunities in your business and career, or if you want to create an impact in hundreds, thousands, even millions of lives with your voice, then pay close attention to this video. Because becoming an inspirational speaker is the perfect way to do all of this and more. Back in video 1, you learned the 4 big ideas that help you articulate your message into a compelling speech. This helps you stand out from the crowd and win your audience's attention. In video 2, you discovered the 3 effective techniques I used to create what I call the most important 16 minutes of my life, the speech that turned me into a key person of influence. If you haven't already, go watch those 2 videos now before starting this one. It will give you a better understanding of everything we cover today. Now, the thought of becoming a persuasive, world-class speaker may feel overwhelming. You may have no clue where to start or think you don't have what it takes. But if you feel like you're losing out on the perfect opportunities, if you feel like you're stuck in life's slow lane with no clear way to move faster, or if you ever worry that you're not good enough to create a real impact in the world, then what you're about to learn will change all of that, just like it did for me. Now you might say, Brian, this sounds great, but I don't ever plan to become a speaker who talks to thousands of people from a stage. And I totally get it. I didn't think I'd ever speak from a stage earlier. No, I really didn't. Until I discovered something most people don't know. Influential speaking isn't restricted to an auditorium anymore. By learning how to speak with influence and persuasion, you can inspire people in any situation to buy into your wants and desires. Giving a powerful presentation can land you that big client. Speaking with articulation and authenticity can win you praise in the boardroom. Influencing the big boss this way can land you an opportunity that could otherwise take years. The stage to inspire is everywhere. You no longer have to play small and wait your turn when it comes to your career. Have you ever wondered how less qualified people grab better opportunities than those who are qualified? Even if you might be smarter, harder working, or more experienced, success follows those who can influence others to give them a chance. If you can master these 6 areas to becoming an influential speaker, the chances to skip the line and take quantum leaps in your career become endless. What I'm about to share with you all comes from my brand new Speak to Inspire course, which I'll talk more about in the next video. So without further ado, let's dive in. First comes the most important yet overlooked skill of all: listening. Speakers mistakenly focus on what they want to say, but instead they should be focusing on what their audience wants to hear. Dr. Stephen Covey's famous quote perfectly explains this. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Speaking from a stage is no exception. Listening gives you the foundation for knowing what your audience wants to hear. This gives you the best chance for creating an impact in their lives. Second, you must understand structure. Knowing how to structure your thoughts into a well-crafted message is a valuable skill. This allows your audience to grasp the point you're making without using any mental effort. Surprisingly, most speakers still don't know how to structure their presentations. they tend to ramble on, talking about unimportant things, immediately losing the attention of their audience.
To get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Learning this helps you speak clearly and straight to the point, so people don't tune you out. But there are a few questions you'll need to answer at this stage. For example, what's the best structure to use for a presentation? How do you best hook your audience so they pay attention from the beginning? And how do I know what to include in my speech and what to get rid of? In the next training, you'll see how you can get answers to these questions, along with the others we raise here today. Okay, third, you need to understand the art of storytelling. We're going to dive deeper into this section in just a moment, so let me briefly cover the final 3 areas before we do. Fourth, you need to know how to research. Since you listen to your audience and know what they want to hear, now you need to research different topics, stories, and proof in order to add them to your presentation. Now, most speakers get overwhelmed at this stage because 1, it takes them too long, and 2, they don't know exactly what they're looking for. Plus, research isn't exactly exciting, whereas the other aspects can often be fun. But when you learn how to research right and avoid all the boring stuff, this will be your cornerstone for preparing a great speech every single time. This will be covered more in the next video. Fifth, you need to nail your delivery. A great speaker performs while he is on stage. When done right, it's like watching an epic play or a Broadway musical. They understand the subtle nuances of body language, vocal tonality, movement, working the room, and other sub-communication techniques that can really create a work of art. This will add to the power of your message and magnify the way an audience connects to you. But you might ask, how do I improve my vocal tonality and speak with authority? What can I do if I start feeling nervous? And how do I use the right amount of body language without overdoing it? Don't worry, all of that will be covered in the next video. And lastly, you need to inspire. This is the most important skill to learn if you want to become world class. Influential speakers use words to create a deep emotional impact on their listeners. They know how to make an audience burst into laughter, how to move them to tears, and how to fill them with hope, confidence, and inspiration. This is how you make people believe in you and attract amazing opportunities in your life. Every question we just brought up is answered in our new course, Speak to Inspire, which you can learn more about in just a moment. Now that you understand the 6 foundations of every great speaker, let's dive deep into the most coveted one of all: the ability to tell a riveting story that captures your audience attention. What's the first thing you must know about telling a good story? You must change the way an audience feels. Great storytelling isn't logical, it's emotional. People will never remember what you made them think, but they will forever remember what you made them feel. This is how you create a lasting memory in your audience's mind. This is the power of effective storytelling. Here's a visual example of what it looks like in this context. Picture your story like a graph. Each point on the graph represents a certain emotion your audience feels. Now, one of the most important things to note is that human emotions aren't binary. We all experience different levels of emotion. There's a big difference in the impact of something that's kind of funny versus rolling on the floor laughing. The graph on the left shows a mediocre storyteller. They only evoke a little surge of emotion in their listeners. But the graph on the right shows a great storyteller. They create deep, roaring waves of emotion in their listeners. One of the key elements to making this work is the use of positive and negative emotions. Compelling stories make you feel the full emotional spectrum. Think of your favorite movie or book. Did it only have positive emotions throughout the entire storyline? Of course not. They take your hand through a nice meadow, making you feel joy and happiness. Then without notice, they drag you through a ditch, making you feel pain and sadness, all while revealing surprising plot twists that jolt you alive with excitement, just to bring you back to that place of joy. This is no mistake. Powerful stories fill you with positive and negative emotions. For example, during my TED Talk, the beginning of my story made people hate me. I talked about being this rich banker at Richard Branson's chalet in the Swiss Alps, who had more money than I knew what to do with. I created this image of myself that people have strong feelings against. But as the story progressed, I turned their hate for bankers into hope and inspiration through my journey of creating London Real. I took them through an emotional valley, only to bring them up even higher on the other side. When you can achieve this, you'll become a riveting storyteller that makes people hang on your every word. You'll become a speaker people love listening to. Now, here are some other common questions that come up with storytelling. How do you structure a story for impact? How do you deliver a perfectly timed punchline that hits the bullseye? And what are the subtle nuances of telling a great story? We'll cover these questions and more in the next video. For now, let's crush some of the doubts that may have crept up as we went through all of this. Sound good? First, you may be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. Well, it is. This is what separates great speakers from those who have a hard time leaving their mark. It's also why having world-class mentorship is so valuable. It can shave years off your learning curve and keep you moving forward with confidence from day one. The second thing I hear a lot is, what if I'm an introvert? As an introvert who spent his early teens avoiding parties so I could work alone in the garage on my science fair projects, I get it. The course I'll introduce you to in the next video is actually designed with introverts in mind. We know most of them want to get better at speaking to audiences. To be honest, even though I love speaking now, I'm still an introvert. But learning how to effectively speak to audiences is the best investment you can make in building your confidence. Finally, a lot of people say, what if I have an accent? Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ariana Huffington used to worry about their accents, until they realized it was actually their advantage to stand out from the crowd. Look around, you'll find countless successful speakers with accents. So as long as you have something to say, people don't care what you sound like. Okay, let's do a quick recap of everything we talked about today. To start, we briefly went over 6 main areas of mastery that make up every influential speaker. First, you listen to what your audience wants. Second, structure your message for maximum impact. Third, master the art of telling stories that pull people in. Fourth, research the perfect elements to include in your presentation. Fifth, nail your delivery. And lastly, inspire your audience. Mastering these areas puts you on the fast track to becoming an inspirational speaker who makes any audience believe in you and your message. Then we dove deeper into how the emotional journey plays the #1 biggest role in effective storytelling. Before we go today, I want to give you another challenge. This one will be fun. I want you to record a 1-minute video telling a story. It can be about anything, but you must take me on an emotional journey. I will be in the free private Facebook group watching for whoever can take me on the biggest emotional journey. All you have to do is use what we learned today about effective storytelling. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just here to improve and get better. When you're done, go comment on 3 videos that took you through an emotional journey. If you know anyone who wants to become a better storyteller, give them a hand by sharing this on Facebook or sending them a link directly. In the final video, you'll see how you can become an inspiring speaker like the greatest guests on London Real with our brand new course, Speak to Inspire. This is the fast-track accountability program that turns you into a masterful speaker in only 6 weeks. It will help you master the 6 areas we covered today in much greater detail. It gives you in-depth answers to all the questions we raised today, plus a lot more. It will be me guiding you every step of the way to becoming an influential speaker who can create a real impact in people's lives. The doors will only be open for a few days, so if you want to win clients to your business, earn promotions with ease, or inspire hundreds from a stage, then you'll love the next video. Make sure you block time out in your calendar now before you forget. Here are some final thoughts I'll leave you with. Take a look at some of London Real's greatest speakers. Dorian Yates, Dan Pena, Ido Portal, Gary Vaynerchuk. These men are inspiring millions worldwide by sharing what they believe. They're spreading their messages, growing their businesses, and creating real impact. And I want you to ask yourself, how would your life change if you could speak like the greatest guests on London Real? Would you get the opportunity to do better work and make more money? Would you create more impact by spreading your message even further? Or would you feel a deep sense of confidence knowing you can make anyone believe in you and your biggest goals? Becoming an influential speaker is open to anyone who's willing to step up. It can open an endless amount of doors in your life. And really, I want you to think about which door will you step through? Because if you truly want it, nobody is stopping you. And I'm here to help you make that happen. See you in the next video.